I'm sorry, are you Google image searching desserts just to look at?
Yeah. Have you never been like, hey man, I really miss that dessert. Let me just look up a picture of it.
Literally never in my life. What the hell are you doing? What?
Yeah, dude. Have you never seen German Stalin? I've never had it before, but I've always wanted to try it. It is literally bread with candied fruit in it, and
So
it has
you
a
just
fucking
Google it and look it on the internet and think to yourself, the forbidden dessert.
Yeah, dude, that's what I do every fucking holidays. That's what I do in the holidays. Why are you judging how I do my holidays? Fuck off.
Hold the fuck up. Not only is this a dessert, not only is this a dessert that you only, not only is it, so it is a dessert that you Google search and think to yourself, one day I'm gonna have you. Having never done it, but most importantly, it is a dessert that you've never had, and you just Google image search to look at. Seasonally.
Yeah, dude.
Seasonally. It is a holiday. It is a holiday yearning.
Why you shitting on me? It's a good looking. AJ, real quick. Type into Google. Hey everybody, welcome to Spiritual Successor. By the way, we're gonna talk about dessert for a second. AJ, go to Google and type in Stollen. STOLLEN. You can follow along at home and tell me it's not one of the most beautiful. STOLLEN. Stollen. It is a German dessert bread. Actually, it's not even a dessert bread. It's just a bread you can fucking have during the holidays. You can put bread on it. You can put jam on it. It is a bread with candied fruit in it and a cylinder of marzipan in the center, and you just eat it. And it has powdered sugar on it. It looks like somebody took a dessert and then put it out in the snow and just let it sit there, and it's beautiful and it's elegant, and it just I bet you it has this nice crunch to it, you know?
And every year you fucking Google it. You Google image search it like the little paper boy from the Christmas Story and think to yourself, one day maybe I'll be able to have a little bit of Stollen.
A little
You
nibble.
just Google image search it every year on Christmas.
Happy holidays, everybody. From Spiritual Successor.
Did it ever occur to you that this was weird? Did it ever occur to you that this was abnormal and strange? That you have a holiday yearning?
Okay, AJ, hold the fuck up. If people can watch Tasty making little,
there's so much.
Here's four. No. There is no difference within this. If somebody, thank you, Scott. I just had food. If somebody can go on Facebook and look at Tasty videos of hey, here's 4 different recipes for donuts, and here's some kooky holiday designs, I could just type into Google and look at Stollen. I don't. That's no different at all.
No, because me scrolling through Facebook and having the delicious donut video shown to me by the algorithm is one thing. Because what you were proposing, the not holiday version of this thing that you are doing, which I think you also do based on this conversation, is you sit around and think to yourself, I've never really had that one little pudding style bread that they have in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but maybe I'll just sit around and Google image search that and just fantasize what eating that would be like. Is that something you do?
I mean, I did that with Turkish Delight back when.
Turkish Delight, thank you so much. What you were implying is that Google image searching Turkish Delight. Just people randomly, people do this. They just sit around and Google desserts that they've never had and just look at it and think,
yeah, dude,
one day.
Are you fucking kidding? Yeah, how is that? I don't see any problem with that. People are like, hey, there's this, there's in New York, there is the most expensive milkshake you can have. It's like a $200 milkshake, has gold flakes and scotch in it, and people will Google image what that looks like, and just for curiosity,
and just stare at it for hours. For hours,
I never said I'd stare at it for hours. I never said that. I just said
when you have a fantasy craving. Just when you're thinking to yourself,
when I have a fantasy craving,
I'm feeling a slight bit peckish for my eyeballs. I would like to look at a sweet treat.
Hey man, I don't even. You know what's so funny? I don't think I've
dude,
ever.
You're on some
I
like,
don't think
wild shit right now.
I don't think I've ever looked up how much Stalin is stolen. I believe is how you pronounce it. Forgive me, I'm a dumb American. Whoa, somebody's selling this shit on Etsy for like $40. You can also get like a bunch of little mini marzipan. This is adorable. Oh, this is awesome. You can get it like for $25 to $40. A fruit. I mean, like AJ. You know what? You know, AJ. What I've discovered here is that you live a very sad food life. You're just like missing out on the finer things of Googling like German desserts.
You are also missing out on the finer things of life. That is what I think has led you to Google image searching them. And just
You think I got You think I got $50 lying around to buy sweetbread? You think no. In this economy, you think I'd buy a dessert bread right now? No. Why are you shitting on my happiness? Let's talk about games. We spent literally 8 minutes talking about dumb bread that hopefully you've cut down a little bit. Hey everybody, my name is Blake Rea. I love dessert breads. I love food. I love looking at food. And I'm here to talk to you about fake, dumb holiday video games. AJ, please tell us who you are.
My name is AJ Hart. I'm your other host for Spiritual Successor. And if I've learned anything from this conversation with Blake, it is that I have no reason to believe that he does actually enjoy consuming sweetbreads. I think he maybe just likes looking at them. But that'll have to be research I'll conduct another time. Welcome to Spiritual Successor, the comedy video game design podcast where we take your horrible, nasty, rancid, cursed video game topics from all over the internet and turn them into the next AAA titles. Blake, would you like to give me the first video game? I'm already exhausted, dog. I've been like, for the last 8.5 minutes, I've been trying to comprehend what the fuck you told me at the very beginning of this recording.
That's so bizarre. Like, I don't think I like.
No,
legit, I don't
dude,
see how you're having difficulty wrapping your head around
it. Google image and look at and just think about desserts.
I don't know what's so wrong with that.
Live your life. Live your life. Do what makes you happy. And you know what?
What about people like on Instagram? No, like hold on. There's more to this conversation. There's more to this dumb fucking conversation. Okay, I will condense it down to one sentence. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. I'm not going to explain more. If people can go on Instagram and be like, I want to look at beautiful looking food. They type in the tag beautiful food or foodie and they just are scrolling and looking at all the things that they wish they could like either make themselves but don't have the ingredients or just don't have the time, or just looking at like beautiful burgers, or like, hey, here's this like place in San Diego where you can do the excellent challenge. It's like 24 eggs and giant biscuits and fruit. Real place, by the way. Another place I Google frequently.
Okay,
and
no, wait, I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to get it.
Yeah, it's just like,
because what you're saying is like, you don't deal with that front page, the algorithm brought it to you bullshit. You've done the research. You know what stolen is. You knew that you wanted to look at it. You're not gonna let the algorithm and big Facebook and big Instagram tell you what kind of foodie shit you want to look at, because you're cultured. Damn it, you've been looking at photos of JPEG. Well, you've been looking at JPEGs of food for years.
Real quick, no, I found out about Stolen due to the YouTube algorithm pitching me an episode of Binging with Babish making Stolen. And now, all I think about is Stolen. AJ, I have a game idea for you coming to our sweet fucking Reddit page. This one comes to us from Isan M. Death Stranding, Christmas Edition. Santa is the main character. Or, if you're more familiar, Fallout New Vegas, but Santa is the courier tasked to deliver presents. There's a game, in my knowledge, I don't think I've ever seen a Christmas game set in the post-apocalypse. So, we are Santa bringing post-apocalyptic, I was going to say post-apocalyptic joy, but post-apocalyptic joy sounds depressing. You are bringing joy to people in the post-apocalypse. So it is all the zany,
just because
crazy,
the apocalypse happened doesn't mean that Happy Honda Days is over. We still need to celebrate.
Are you telling instead of a sled, he just has a rusted old red Honda, and that's what he in the bed of his
red Honda Civic, baby.
A Honda Civic? How do you fit gifts in that? Like, what about a Honda truck? I feel like
The
a
Honda
truck
Civic is
would-
4 seats with trunk space, and it's got plenty of legroom for all 4 of your companions. 5 if you want to take full access of the bench seat in the back.
I didn't even think about that. What would Santa's like opinions be? Would it be like a grizzled old Rudolph? You just run across the reindeer smoking a cigarette, and his like
the
red
reindeer
nose
all
is
died
just
in the
dimly.
apocalypse. The reindeer all died in the apocalypse, and that's going to help us out with building this game because now we don't have to build those stupid reindeer. I hate making.
I
animals
disagree.
in
I
video
disagree.
games.
You know what's cooler than reindeer? Ghoul reindeer. What inspires more
Alright.
joy than a zombie reindeer? Which is actually the most metal fucking thing I could think of. So like, yeah, it's just like it's a ghoul reindeer that's like remember when you come across glowing ones in Fallout? They have like that green like internal glow to them. You have reindeer like that, and they're just like all kind of they're basically skeletons, but they have like a really cool green glow to them. So one of our companions is obviously Rudolph, but he's like, call me Rudd for short.
So it's a. Did I catch this right at the beginning? Was this a game like Kojima's thing?
This is a game like they gave us a option. It could be a Death Stranding like delivery service in Death Stranding, or you are the courier from Fallout. Both of them operating off of what I am interpreting from the post is that you are a delivery person, but that delivery person is Santa. So
what do we want to explore a little bit more of then? The walking-esque simulator. Yeah, definitely an open world, but is this going to be a game where most of the gameplay comes from being Santa Claus with your Honda Civic delivering gifts? Or is this going to be more of a game akin to a Fallout where you get a gun and it's like first person and you have to run around and complete missions? I think I'm more interested in a Death Stranding angle.
Really? Because I think the idea of Santa with a gun, like fighting off raiders who are trying to steal his Christmas joy when he's trying to deliver things is actually, you could still do that with Death Stranding.
You can still have a gun with the Death
Stranding.
There was
combat.
I want to hone in more on like the promise of the Days Gone engine, because Days Gone promised a lot of things. You remember Days Gone, the game that was supposed to be the super cool horde zombie game. It was also supposed to be the
like
cool,
the cool
zombie game where you had a motorcycle and your motorcycle was going to be your ultimate companion, and you would have to work on your cool motorcycle. And then Days Gone didn't do any of that. But what if Santa Claus and his Honda Civic did do that? What if we create a video game where you get your Santa Claus Honda Civic, and that is your sleigh? That is your gift-giving machine. It has a magic trunk so it can fit all of the gifts in the back seat, so we don't have to worry about like the resource management of packing everything.
AJ,
but you do have to constantly worry about tire pressure, your axles on your car. You start to notice some grinding on the back left wheel, and you got to think to yourself, "Ah, man, I got to find a shop so I can." Yeah, I got to buff that out. I don't know what's causing the grinding. Maybe my brakes are bad.
Are we just going to take the concept of Death Stranding? If this is what I know Death Stranding to be, you're on an alien planet, and that's the reason there's no highways, no like colonization. Like the camps are sparse. It is just a wild west of a place. Are you saying Santa comes to a new planet and is like, I have maxed out the joy of Earth. Earth is a perfect place where everybody's happy. I'm gonna go. What's next stop for me, Santa Claus, the guy who's always looking to make people happy? I'm gonna go to the stars, baby. Me and the reindeer, we're going to Mars. Me and the reindeer, we're going to Jupiter. So it's basically, are you pitching me? Oh my God, this is actually really cool. It's fucking not Outer Worlds. What's that one other game that failed tremendously upon launch because they promised a bunch of things?
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. It's No Man's Sky, but you're Santa Claus, and so maybe the first mission is like Santa crash land.
We've come and gone. We're sick of post-dystopia, post-pandemic video games. We want post-utopia. Santa Claus has pushed Honda days through the entire year, built a perfect utopia built on gift giving and gift receiving, and is now gone to the stars, gone to space, gone to find a new society to bring his Christmas creep and his Honda days. It is on this world wherein you must now deliver gifts to all of the children of this world with your cool Honda, but there's no stopping.
here's the puzzle part of it though. So like, say that you have to start at I think you have to start at like level 0 of like you crash land on a planet and you have to build your way up, and you become like how the original Santa myth started. It was just some random guy giving gifts to people in his area. So that's how you start in this game. You just stumble across an alien town and you have to like figure out how to gift them. You become a myth in this universe. But here's the cool part. Each world, AJ, has different cultures, different communities, different wants. A toy train on Earth isn't gonna be jack shit to a kid on Mars. You got to find out what kids on Mars are into. They're into like, I don't know, juggling rocks or something. What's there to do on Mars? They're really into ice. So they love ice sculptures. Like that's their biggest, like that's the most treasured gift a person can give. Is like you have to because like ice is very sparse, it's a very rare thing. So when you give it to somebody, it's like, oh wow, look at this beautiful thing that will eventually melt. This is a fleeting moment that I should treasure forever. And it's like really like Christmassy and poetic. Like that's the holidays. They only come around once a year.
So the gameplay loop here is you go to a planet. You do constantly have to continue kind of modifying and upgrading and checking on and maintaining your Honda Civic. Well, you can.
I think the Honda Civic comes later.
Go to deliveries. Do you think no? The Honda Civic is your companion. It is the vehicle.
No, that's something you earn at the end of First Planet. Because I think if you want to do a delivery thing,
I'll give you that.
Santa's got a.
But the gameplay loop again. The gameplay loop in general, I agree. We can give the Honda Civic after the second world. You do have to upgrade and get to it, and like the whole car maintenance will come later. But the core gameplay loop is you maintain your vehicle. You go to location, delivering gifts to kids. Once you get to a spot where you would give somebody the kid, or you don't give somebody the kid. Once you get to the point where you would give somebody a gift, you then jump into your trunk, your infinite trunk of goodies, and then you have to pick a gift. And this is where you start to calibrate and understand what the world likes, what the world doesn't like. You have an infinite amount of gifts, and you can just kind of grab whatever you want willy-nilly. You give somebody your gift from your infinite bag of treasures, and then you move on to the next delivery. And that's the gameplay loop, because much like Death Stranding, it's just the one trick. It's just the one trick for 50 hours.
You know, it'd be so fucking cool. What if this was like a big space opera where it's like, so okay, here just stick with me for a second here. So everything's perfect on Earth, and Santa has made Earth just like this perfect happy place of holidays. Like, and that's not just Christmas.
All Honda days all the time.
All holidays are just loved and cherished throughout the year, all the time. But Krampus has been scheming, and Krampus teleported Santa's ass all the way to Pluto. Now, Santa needs to work his way through the solar system, Destiny style, to get back to Earth before Krampus ruins Earth forever. And destroys the holiday, and when he gets back to Earth, everybody's like just super bitter and just like, what happened to Santa? Like Santa's probably been gone for like how long was Odysseus gone in the Odyssey? He was gone for like 10, 20 years, right? Like imagine
most of his child's life.
Yeah, most of his kid's life. What was that bullshit thing he sold? He's like, if once my son grows stubble, just forget me. He's like, oh.
Was
and
that
then
the
I guess
line?
he had. Yeah, that was like, yeah, he said like once my son grows a little bit of hair on his chin, you can move on. And
you know his wife was just like waiting for that kid to grow some hair so that she could get married again. She's like, come on, kid.
It's been like fucking 20 years.
I'm sick of being lonely. It's been 20 years. I'm ready to move on. Grow some goddamn facial hair already.
I remember in the old movie, I remember like that scene always being really awkward of like just some random guy comes up and really gets close to that dude's face. He's like, you have stubble. And then everybody in the room gasps. And it's just like, because there were like so many dudes that were like, yeah, I want to fucking marry this woman. I'll kill for this woman. And it's just like, there was a room full of dudes that Odysseus had to kill, like to be like, and it's so weird. Why did he have to kill this dude?
Santa Claus, much like Odysseus, is going to be traveling through the planets to get back home. He's going to maybe fall in love with somebody around the Jupiter-Saturn section. Eventually decide that he's not going to stay there forever and continue his journey. It's going to be like a beat for beat, just the Odyssey, but it's going to be like so good and so well put together. And then it's going to end on Earth at the North Pole with a fist fight between Santa Claus and Krampus. And Krampus is going to have a line where he looks at Santa Claus in the eye and says, you know, we're not so different, you and I. And then Santa Claus is going to be like, ho, ho, holy shit, I'm going to beat your ass.
You know what?
And then they fist fight.
You know
and
what
boom,
scene
boom,
I'm
bow,
picturing?
credits. I'm ready for another video game. Are you?
Wait, real quick. I just want to give you one send-off image because I love Space Opera Santa.
All right, well, we've been on this game for 20 minutes.
No, we've only been on it for 10. We talked about Stolen for 10 minutes, AJ.
Okay, thank you.
The final image is that fight from Metal Gear Solid Rising where it's just Mr. President just being like, you see Krampus, he's in a suit, and he just rips off his suit and suddenly like grows 3 times in size and is just fucking buff. And then Santa does the same thing. He just tears off his suit and goes from just being this jolly kind of like just solid man to just
let
being
me propose to
fucking
you
jacked
this
as
because
shit.
I think that the Santa Claus and Krampus understand that they are birds of a feather. I think that you get to the final scene and Krampus, like, they're at the North Pole and there's a tiny table and Krampus puts down 2 glasses of milk and a plate of cookies and Krampus says, "So you finally made it back, huh? I want to face you at your strongest." And then he puts the plate of cookies down. And so Santa Claus and Krampus each walk over. They each grab 1 cookie. They dunk it into each one of their cups of milk. They bite the cookie. They swallow it. They enlarge like Popeye the Sailor Man. And now they're way bigger and ready to fight.
The scene of them just like there's just a roaring fire behind them and all you hear is just like the crinkle of the embers and then both of them just like after eating the cookie they just both grab their glasses of milk and you just hear the little and then it just smash cuts to them on top of like the warehouse where they build the toys and they just both do this whole shirt rip scene and just fist fight. All right, AJ.
Like, I've got a video game idea for you.
Hey, we fixed it. All right, AJ, give me a video game. I want to hear what awesome holiday joy or what? Sorry, AJ, I want to hear a video game idea, and it better have some very good Honda Day joy. Is that what's it, Honda Day? Happy Honda Days.
Yeah, it's Honda Days. Happy Honda Days. This one comes from Caleb at Busto314. Stealth game based on the song I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
Okay.
On God, I know Mom is cheating on Dad. I swear to God, I know it. I'm going to get evidence. I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus last year, and I've waited all year to catch him this year. I've set my house up like the kid from Home Alone, and I'm going to catch Santa Claus.
Okay. A couple questions. What year is it? Because I feel like you could just do a thing. If this is modern, the issue with it being modern day is a lot of houses do have like those internal security cams now. So like,
yeah,
bam,
they got the
problem
ring
solved. He just
lights and the
watches that.
GoPros. Like I would catch, yeah.
So I feel
also,
like
how old is the kid? Because if I, AJ Hart, the 24-year-old living with my parents, thought to myself, I think my mom's cheating on my dad with Santa Claus, I'd be able to find out no problem. I'm a grown
you have
ass
way
man.
more you have way more resources than an 8-year-old kid.
Yeah. So I definitely think that you are an 8-year-old kid that knows, not thinks, knows that your mom is cheating on your dad with Santa Claus. You've seen it with your own goddamn.
You know what he does? For his Christmas list, he just like like his mom comes over and he's like, hey, what's the kid's name? Hey, Sarah, what do you want for Christmas? And she just writes on her fucking Christmas wish list the truth, and then just puts it in an envelope and shit. It just either maybe leaves the paper open for her mom to find, or just actually postmarks it and ships it to Santa. And then there's this scene, like, you know, what'd be so fucking funny is that us as the audience member, the people that are playing the game, know, like, there are cutscenes with the parents, like, just reacting to the crazy shit that the kid is doing. Like, hey, did you see Sarah's, like, Christmas wish list? She wants the truth. What the fuck does that mean? I don't know. It's just some 8-year-old shit. Let's just buy her a fucking
8-year-old.
Maybe
Maybe we let her see the A-Team one too many times, and now she thinks the truth is like an objective thing.
You mean X-Files? Like, I feel like X-Files would be a little like the truth is out there.
Because the one guy says like, "Oh, you can't handle the truth."
That is not A-Team. That is a Few Good Men. That's A Few Good Men, dude.
Is it
That's,
really?
yeah, that's like what's his face from The Shining. You can't handle the truth. Hold on. AJ,
You're right, because in my mind I was
if you
conflating.
get mad, yeah.
I conflated "you can't handle the truth" with "I pity the fool" because they have the
That
same
is
like.
not at all comparable. That is
No,
not at
because
all
they have
comparable.
in my brain they hit the same rhythm. Ba ba da da da.
AJ, if I could say one thing
Can't
about
handle
you,
the
you are not
can't handle the
predictable
truth
at all.
I pity the fool. They're like the same, you know what I mean? Like if you were to put them on like, if you were to write them
Wait,
out
AJ,
on, like,
AJ, that's a beat in the game though. That's a beat in the game where she's like, she's like, she's just really into old 80s action like series and movies, and she just combines the words from various movies. Like that's a lot of her mentality. Like that's it. She's growing up in the 80s. That's actually, let's say she's in, it's a 90s game. She's in 1992 because that's when A Few Good Men came out. And so she's like,
and has spent the last
she's
8
just on
years of
her
her
hunt
life
for the
just
truth.
watching the
And
A-Team on loop and has conflated the two because she's just an 8-year-old girl. And she's gonna catch her mom kissing Santa Claus. How would a kid do it though? Because like I'm trying to imagine a video game in which you have your home and you know that there's an intruder and you're going to catch that intruder, but you only get the one time to do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna put myself in like an 8-year-old's thing. I feel like as an 8-year-old, I would try and do something that was overly complicated. It would not be efficient. So what I think would be, I would build out some sort of what's that like machine? What's that machine where one thing triggers another thing? It's like a the OK Go music video did it. Like something falls on something and that triggers something else down the line, and it's just this whole like chain reaction machine. And I can never
Rutabaga machine.
A rutabaga? A rutabago machine?
Yeah, rutabaga machine.
A rutabago machine.
Shit, what is it called? Anyway, yeah, we're just gonna call it that for now because I don't remember the real term. It's a rutabaga machine.
I was gonna say Lou Gehrig's machine, but I think that's a disease.
That's all.
I don't know.
I know what you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
You're talking about
whatever.
the Pee Wee Playhouse alarm clock. You're talking
yeah. Fuck. Okay, hold on. Let me waste more of our audience's time for me to look something. Chain reaction machine.
Rube Goldberg.
Rube
I
Goldberg.
got it.
Okay, you're a fucking genius. Okay, so a kid. So maybe the way we pitch it is that this kid. I don't know how you could do this, but it could be one of those games that's over a period of years. So it'll be like, hey, the first level is when you're 6 years old.
A
like
5-act structure video game.
Yeah. Well,
5 levels of the character prepping for the ability to catch their mom kissing Santa Claus. So this kid has spent the last 5 years of their life knowing that their parents' relationship is on the rocks. Because every goddamn year, the mother is just like suffering, waiting for her paramour, Santa Claus, to come back home.
Their paramour? Do you mean they're amour? Like they're like me amour? It is not paramour. No. What are you?
Do I get to look smarter than you this time? Yeah, motherfucker. I get to look smarter than you this time. Yeah. Paramour is a term for a secret. No. Paramour is a term for a secret lover, motherfucker. Look it up.
Really?
Look it up, Blake.
Wait,
look
really?
It up.
That's so fucking cool. Secret lover. Oh, is that why the band Paramore chose that? I said lover, and often a secret one you're not married to, so it's best not to kiss and make eyes at your paramour.
So smart this time.
Whoa,
nobody remembers when I called it a rutabaga machine. Now I've been set free.
A rutabaga machine. Hey man, you know what? A broken clock's right twice a day. All right. What I'm pitching here is that this kid at age 6 years old discovers this paramour, this deceit done by their mother, kissing Santa Claus, and every year
right on the
this
lips
kid,
too.
They clink milk glasses and like do the whole thing that married couples do where they like entwine their arms and help each other drink. So okay, so let's say this is like an indie title. There's going to be 10 levels. Do you do this to where this is that they take
Like
this
there's
into
only
their teams?
are you thinking a whole decade's worth of work then? I was thinking a
Well,
5-year timeline, and there's only one Christmas a year, dude.
Well, okay, how about this? How about this? Maybe it could be that this is because I'm trying to figure out a game where it's each level is you're setting up a complicated machine to catch Santa on Christmas night, but it always inevitably fails. But maybe that's not satisfying to play. But just doing something like that, so it's like you with each year as you grow older, you gain more resources. So like I have more resources as a 15-year-old than I did as a 6-year-old. So like
Yeah, I
level
think
one
that
is you're a
the goal
6-year-old.
is to create puzzles wherein they're unsolvable, but your player would have like you as the player would have spent so much time in this world that you think, oh, I'm gonna give it a shot anyway. Like I probably won't catch him this time, but I've come this far. I may as well try.
And the thing I want to capture, which is something like I think about constantly, is like, man, if I knew this, like there were things that I'm trying to think of an example of like, for the longest time I thought one word meant something else, and I thought that way, like from like age 6 to age 15, and I found out at age 15 that I was like saying it the wrong way, and there's like that joyful like kind of like, man, I'm an idiot, that's so funny, and then there's just like that little bit of not catharticness, but just like realizing that you were a goofball for the past 10 years.
Oh yeah. So
and
maybe the way it works is like the first couple levels you have tools that are given to you as one thing, but you realize later on that there's something else. A la, you're given something at the very beginning of the game, and it's like, oh, here's your grappling hook that you're going to use. And then like you're like, oh hell yeah, a grappling hook. But like it's a grappling hook because you're seeing it from your dumb kid brain. But as you hit the next level, you look at it again, and it's a hairdryer. You thought it was a grappling hook because it had like the L shape of a grappling hook, and it had the big rope of the extension cord. But now that you're a grown adult at the ripe age of 9, and you see the world like a wise adult would, now you're like, oh,
So you're
I can use this heat gun as a completely different tool now.
Okay, so you're saying this would be like a bite-sized game. This is not like a full 10-level thing. It's like, hey, here's 5 levels that are going to tell a very succinct little story about a kid discovering that, that Santa is their other parents. And actually,
what? No, this is a story about a 5-year-old cracking the code, cracking the story, and getting their dad out of this relationship of the cheating mom.
Holy shit. What if that was the twist? Like, because everybody knows what that song means. It's like, oh, it's a kid making a visual
song means
mistake.
that song means that mom is Santa Claus is cucking somebody.
He like to, you've heard of Saint Nick. How his new name is Saint Cuck.
Proud of yourself on that one?
It's a dope. Santa Claus for like Santa. This is dumb. Please take.
You're really proud of these ones, I can tell. Do you want to go ahead and pull the ripcord and give us a new submission? Like, you're really proud of them, and you're really ashamed that you're proud of them, which is interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the out. You don't have to commit to this bit. You can just take us out, dog.
It's just such lowbrow. It's just so fucking.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. You don't have to commit. Like, hey, dude, no one's listening to this. No one has to think that we thought this was funny. We can just like, we can just move on. We can like keep up this like highbrow illusion of comedy. No one's paying attention. We can move on.
Nobody's paying attention. They're driving to work right now, or
They're driving to work right now. We're good.
Nobody will catch this.
Move on. Go. Quick. Next.
Okay. I have another game, and I want to mix it up. We've talked a lot about Christmas. I want to talk to you about a Hanukkah game, AJ.
We've been talking about Honda Days, first of all.
Okay. We're talking about Honda Days, but with a spyglass on the Christmas holidays specifically. I apologize for this, but I saw this submission earlier in the week, and I have been thinking about it all week. But I cannot remember for the life of me who the user was, who this mysterious genius was. I looked through all of our Twitter, I looked through all of our emails, I looked through all of our Reddit. I could not find the user. So please, whoever you are, you're a fucking genius and a brilliant game designer. They pitched us Beyblades. they pitched us Dreidel, but Beyblades. And here's the thing that got my mind working on this. So two people letting it rip, two kids letting it rip. A little backstory about this. I am not Jewish, but I was dating a Jewish family for about 5 years. So I was there for all the holidays, all of the delicious food and meals. AJ, circling back because I like a theme for our episode, I constantly look up Jewish meals on Google just to look at them. Matzo ball soup, mwah, beautiful, beautiful to look at. Bagel and lox, beautiful. Bagel and corned beef, beautiful. Brilliant meals. So I was around that culture. And
are those really seasonal desires as well?
I really came to love.
Or are those just like in general? Like you're like, I'm feeling a little craving the shape of a matzo ball soup. Right
yeah, craving the shape of a matzo ball soup. So
no, that wasn't a bit, Blake. Is those seasonal or are those really just as the hankerings come?
As the hankerings come, dude, matzo ball soup's not seasonal. That shit, you can eat that shit anytime. Corned beef and corned beef and eggs on a everything bagel, you can eat that anytime you want. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. But I was
even
around
better.
That
you can Google image search it anytime you want.
I was around that culture a lot, and I really came to like love it and just really like experiencing it. So I played a lot of Dreidel, and like the whole idea is, AJ, do you know much about the game of Dreidel?
No, my knowledge of dreidels begins and ends with the holiday song Dreidel, Dreidel, Dreidel. Da, da, da.
I made it out of clay. I forget every line after that. So basically, it's a gambling game basically. So you have a dreidel that has 4
I thought
sides.
it was for kids.
Yeah. Gotta learn gambling early, dude. How else are you gonna like break bank at the casinos? So there's 4 sides on the dreidel. There's Nun, Gimel, Hey, and Shin. All of them represent like different things of like, hey, put in another thing into the pot. You don't earn anything this round, or hey, you just won the entire pot. And like for kids, they would either do gold, like chocolate gold coins, or like how I did, we actually put real money into it. It was very, very rowdy and very awesome. So what I'm thinking is, like the thing about Beyblades is like they come together and they clash, and if you have the metal ones, you might get a spark in there, and it's fucking radical, and you think you're gonna lose your fingies when they jump up at you. What if you did Beyblade, but depending on who ended first and how on what side the Beyblade ended on would also dictate like a money pot or like an alternate way to win. Like, hey, you and I are playing Beyblade, and the traditional way is like whoever stops first loses. What if you did a thing of like, hey, my guy stopped first, and that gives me, my guy stopped last, and that gives me a little bit of a bonus on what side the Beyblades end up on. So like, say one person gets Nun while the other one gets Gimel, even they would have I'm trying to think of a way of like, there's 2 ways to win it. It's like if your character or if your Beyblade dies or stops rolling first, that's one way to lose. But if it stopped on Gimel, which is like, hey, you take the whole pot, you can still have a chance to win. Maybe it becomes more complicated the more Beyblade dreidels there are in there, and we also going to come up with our own apparatus. So it's like, and also, what would you say instead of let it rip? What would you do? Actually, no, isn't there like, you have to say something when you spin a dreidel, right?
I don't know. Absolutely stellar commentary from me. I really came in hot on that one.
All right.
I would have no way
You just say
of
happy
knowing.
Honda days. Instead of let it rip, you just say happy Honda days, and you just like fucking yank the Beyblade.
Yes,
like
a Honda Day sport.
Honda Day sport. And it's so, just like people in a warehouse.
Notes about that.
Just like one spotlight above the mall. It's like that scene in VGHS where they're playing. Go ahead.
It sounds like all we really did was throw a gambling element onto Beyblades.
Mm-hmm. But there's a random element to it of like, because with like Dreidel, there's 4 different sides, and maybe one way. Actually, here's the thing. This is how we're gonna fucking do it. Every Beyblade does have 4 sides to it, but it's like playing for pinks though. So like, you know, when cars race, if you lose the race and you're racing for pinks, that person gets your car. What if this is Beyblade, but depending on like whoever, oh, you know what it might be, just to make it simpler, whoever was the last person standing, that's the dreidel that you use to dictate like the pot thing. So it'd be like, hey, if you landed on Gimmel, you take everybody's Beyblades that came to the party. But if you land on Hay, you get to take 2 Beyblades from the party. And then you have to, it's like a constant give and take of like one person's like just taking everybody else's Beyblades.
Yeah.
And it works cooler like the more Beyblades
And what I
you
love
have
about
in
that
the
is
ring.
we're going to create this and what we're going to do is create this incredible moment of like suspense where like one Beyblade has definitely destroyed every other Beyblade in the arena. And it's just sitting there still spinning. So everybody's looking at this dreidel blade and thinking, oh God, what is it going to land on? What will the champion end up landing on? Because this is now the only dreidel blade that matters.
All right, and there you go. And then like that's like just a little quick game. I don't think there's much more to it than that. I just think that actually putting a little bit of risk on it would just be really fun. But it's also
Now,
just
is
a
it
random
possible?
risk.
Hear me out. Is this
Mhm.
something that we don't necessarily even need to brand and create? Is this perhaps something that could come out of the universe of the world just naturally if we were to just make Beyblade really big again?
Well, you and I have talked about doing Beyblade on the Discord. Actually, no, I talked about doing Beyblade with the Discord not too long ago.
I think
So
it's time for a
maybe that's
Beyblade
how we do it.
comeback.
We just build an underground Beyblade ring, and this is like the game that we
No,
introduce
above
into it.
ground. I'm
Above
putting in
ground?
the money to get a stadium for
Yeah.
this. It's going to be just like the anime, but in real life.
See what's crazy? People will put in like so much money into their Beyblades. I don't know how were you big on Beyblade culture when it was a thing?
No, I played Yu-Gi-Oh!
Ah, a man of culture. I respect you.
Well, only until I was 12. Then I played Magic the Gathering.
All right.
Well,
You
14.
came into your own and grew up. But me, I'm still playing Yu-Gi-Oh. um, but what I'm thinking is like people will put people would get different pieces and you can build your own custom Beyblade out of it. Like you can choose
Do
different
people
ways.
actually make their own dreidel out of clay?
I believe most of the time now that they are made out of polymer because it's just easier to cast. But you can
Well,
definitely.
dreidel blades have to be made by hand. Like, you have to make your own dreidel blade.
Oh, that's interesting. You have to cast your own like metal and like it has.
You have to cast your own metal. You have to
that's
forge
cool.
your own dreidel
That's
blade.
cool.
You have to engrave it with your own markings. And then from there, you can engage and partake in the true stadium competitions.
I'm just picturing there's gonna be this whole like underground ring of people like waiting their Beyblades. Like, hey, is this whole dreidel blade made out of clay? And you'll shake your head like yes, and then they put it through the X-ray, and it turns out there's like a metal ball in it just to weight it, and then they just they just take that guy just kicking and screaming out of the stadium and toss him onto the pavement with his cheated dreidel. And it's just
And they say we don't mind dreidels built with an alternative core, but you have to be legit about it. We can't have like cheaters in here. Because what if you had a secret metal core and you entered into the wrong weight class for your dreidel blade? That'd be messed up.
All right, I think that game's good. I think it's fun. It could be like a game that we actually build physically, or it's like a little fun computer game. AJ, do you got another game for me?
No, I think it's Nug time actually.
What? No, give me. We've only discussed one game, and I mean 3 games, and we spent a good portion of the episode talking about Stolen. It's the holiday episode. Let's do one more holiday game, AJ. We'll do it a quick one. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You and me will pound one out. We'll make a bestseller. Let's just do it.
This comes from Calvin and Hobbies at Calvin and Hobbies. Too much attention is put on Christmas, which I wholeheartedly agree for. That's why I'm doing my best to celebrate Honda Days. Time to expand the gaming landscape and make a Hanukkah game. I'm thinking a gotcha dreidel game, perhaps with the daily rewards each night of Hanukkah.
Okay.
Now this is very interesting because I'm all about, and by all about, I mean growing more and more frustrated with the idea of games that exist as a limited time. I play gotcha games. I play a gacha game, there is the realization that we all have that the gacha game will end one day. You know, we all play Destiny right now, but we know Destiny will end one day. But
3
what if we
years is what
created
they
a
say.
gacha game with the sheer premise of being like, oh, we're going to, you know, do all of the horrible, shitty things that gacha games do and prey on somebody's gambling addiction. But
Ugh.
hey, we're only going to do it for 7 days.
This has solid purge energy. It's like, yeah, nothing's legal for a limited amount of time. And that's how it is. That's how it is. It's like across the country. It's like, because some areas you can't gamble. Like here in California, unless you're on a reservation, or specific, or getting, there's certain areas where it is allowed. Can't gamble here in California. But during those 8 crazy nights, bro, anything goes. Any sort of gamble. So
Yes.
okay, what would be a gotcha? The only thing I can think of with dreidel is with gotcha elements is that you get different kinds of dreidels with different bonus
We do the
abilities.
same
It's like-
thing every gacha game does. Every dreidel actually has a ghost of an anime girl. Or an anime boy.
Just fucking. Oh no! All right, we're walking a fine line here, AJ. What do you?
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. I cannot make another joke without coming off as really, really not understanding how Hanukkah works, or without sounding incredibly problematic, probably. Because again, I don't know how Hanukkah works.
Okay. Let's take the opposite direction, just to clarify what we are avoiding. Fate Go.
We can summon anime girls that each have their own dreidel.
Yeah, but we're avoiding the lewd sort of energy. I want to keep this kind of wholesome.
Then we're not making money for 8 days.
Oh no. I mean, you could do it, but it's like I guess a game that is built around trying to collect as much money as possible as in 8 days is inherently problematic. So how about this? The game's done. That's it. The game's it. We don't need to explain anymore. We don't need to go into further detail of like how we would maximize it, because I think any direction we go in past that is bad.
Here's one direction we can go, Blake. Why don't we go ahead and call our shot really quick? Why don't we go ahead and try to channel the SUCC force? We're coming up on the end of 2020. We understand that 2021's coming around. Do we expect a publicly known limited run gacha game to happen within the year 2021?
Oh yeah, hands down.
Okay, you think that happens? You're going to call the shot right now. Like, after we saw Genshin Impact and after years of playing Fate Grand Order, you think that 2021 is the year that some company says, we have a game coming. It's a gacha game. It will exist from this month until this one when it is done and over and will not do it anymore. Like,
honestly, bro, like you jest, but like the SUCC force is strong within you, and I know you're jesting, but with the Mario 35 thing being a limited run thing and content on, I feel like more and more content is becoming limited release content, because it's tapping into that. I think it's a bummer thing with a lot of our media, but it's like presentness of being like, you need to be here or you'll miss everything. Like look at look at the Markiplier thing.
Hey, I think this is how the sports games work, like FIFA and shit. There's a whole gacha element to like FIFA games.
Oh yeah, about like,
and those are annual games. Yeah, you have to pay to gamble the gacha to get the players. So you can
I remember
play
seeing a post
online.
about that of like, hey, of gacha game players complaining about like limited run things, and then it smash cuts to like FIFA players circa 2000 to now. You know, it's all.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not 2000.
Well, I guess
because that
limited
was
run
before, like,
gachas
massive-
have already existed with like FIFA games, huh?
Yeah,
Dang.
yeah. Well, yeah. That's like with players. Like you can only get specific players if you do if you play X amount, and it's a loot box system. I think is how I've never played a FIFA.
Loot boxes is gacha. Let's be
all right,
real
yeah,
here.
that's fair.
Loot
That's
boxes
fair.
is
That's
gacha.
fair. All right. Enough of that. We got to talk about our nug. But first, before we get into that, we have a really quick, awesome, freaking cool as hell announcement we are really pumped to share with you all.
That's right, we do. Can I say it? Can I start it?
Dude,
Can I start the announcement?
AJ, you have all the you can do whatever you want, brother.
On January 2nd, we are doing a contest that you can take part in as a member of our Patreon community.
Are you doing Trailer Guy from early 2000? On January
Oh, here, let me try that.
2nd,
Let me
the
try.
world-
Let me try a
the
trailer
world
voice.
will end. Okay.
On January 2nd, spiritual
You
successor
sound like
will
Blade.
do what no podcast has done before. We will be doing a
Big
limited.
claim.
We
We're doing a limited run contest. I told you, AJ,
We
would
will
happen
be-
before the year 2021. We're doing a limited game contest. All right. Hey guys, we're only about $15 away from launching our merch store of like sweet spiritual successor t-shirts, and we're thinking about doing some stickers and some other things. And we're thinking, all right, we want to get over that final push before the beginning of the new year. So, AJ, tell us what competition we're doing.
We've incentivized the Patreon by saying to ourselves, you know what will get people into here? Wanting to do something. Finally,
to do
we'll make
Minecraft.
something, we'll put something in there. What will we do? Minecraft, like everybody else. Minecraft's back, baby. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, if you are one of our Patreon supporters, you're going to be
Doing
able to
what
join us
everybody
for a Minecraft building competition where you will be given a small piece of land and about 1 hour to build anything you can imagine.
And after you build whatever awesome thing you had in mind, we are going to present it to 3 mysterious judges that we'll announce on Twitter later. And the top 3 winners are going to get something so new and so prototypey. I have no idea how it's going to turn out, but it'll be cool. AJ, what are they going to get?
They're going to get the first prototype spiritual successor shirts for free. Basically, we're doing this shop and we're setting it all up and we're ready to start selling merch. And we understand that like with that comes a little bit of prototyping and we want to make sure that we're getting good merch. So whoever gets those top 3 winner slots, they're going to get our prototype shirts sent to them so we can get some people out there in the world that actually can give you guys some thoughts on whether or not these shirts are decent quality or not.
Hell
I
yeah.
know I've been in the position where I bought merch before and it sucks shit and I hate that so much.
You get
So-
those. You know what fucking merch I fucking hate so much is, you know, those like and this is not just even merch, just shirts in general. You know, like those shirts that have like the image like kind of baked into it and it's just like that hard plastic and it's just fucking disgusting and not fun to like wear at all. Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that shit. Fuck that.
I bought a shirt for Fate Grand Order, the like fun Buster shirt that has like the Buster logo from Fate Grand Order, the fun video gacha game that I play. And I got it and I thought it was so cool. And then I sent it through the wash and now it's lumpy and all bad and stuff. And I'm like, okay, either 1, it wasn't supposed to be dried normally, or 2, it's just a novelty shirt and it's not good for
this
jack
shirt's
shit.
printing was terrible, but there is a chance that I'm the one that fucked up.
I think merch should be life proof.
That's fair. If you're interested in this, joining the Patreon is as little as $2 and comes with a whole bunch of other monthly perks. Like this game night thing, that's something we do every month. This is the first contest we're doing, but we get together every month to play games with our patrons. And there's early access to trailers, early access to art, get some behind the scenes posts and stuff like that. So if you're feeling it, come jump in.
Yeah, this game night is going to be a hell of a lot of fun. They always are, and I'm interested to do something with a little bit more stakes and a fun way to give back to all of you. If you want more details, definitely check out our Patreon post or check out the rules within our Patreon Discord.
All right, AJ, enough businessy chit chat. What is our nug? I vote my son mommy kissing Santa Claus because it's just such a
I was
funny
thinking
game.
about Santa Claus Odysseus.
Santa Odysseus. Okay.
Santa Claus Odysseus with
All right.
his Honda Civic.
Okay. Pitch me
Santa
why...
Claus Hondyssey.
Hondyssey? Oh, that's fucking great, actually. Santa Claus, the Hondyssey.
Happy Hondyssey days.
Santa Claus. Okay. All right, you sold me on that. Okay, now that I think about it, I think you're right, because I think we expanded on everything that I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus could be. It's like this game that you're just having fun and you're thinking like, oh, the kid's gonna learn this lesson and realize that it's like, oh my god, AJ, it's like summer of '84. It's exactly like Summer of '84, of like this kid thinking he's gonna go on some grand adventure and find out there's a murderer in his, hometown, and he's gonna solve it. And then it turns out that whole process fucking blew up in their face, and they realized something.
Yeah.
They stared into the abyss, and the abyss was like, I was making out with your mom.
Did you kiss my mom, Santa Claus?
Did you kiss my mom?
So I think Hondyssey, Happy Hondyssey Days, is going to be our nug this week, which I'm really excited for. I'm loving this idea of taking a game that, oh, my laptop's going to die. I better plug that in. I love this idea of taking like a tried and true story that we all know of Odysseus and really just turning all of it up to 11, putting it in space, and making the main character Santa Claus instead.
Real quick, AJ, because I do think that what version of the Odyssey are you referencing? Are you referencing the one where Odysseus went to in the movie? In the movie, they actually go to the islands where the sirens are singing, and then it's apparently very sexual. But in the book, that never happens. They just hear it, and Odysseus is like, "Take us there," and then the rest of his shipmates are like, "No, we're gonna avoid that." The issue that happens with trying to stamp on the Odyssey to this is outside of one, is it going?
It's only an issue if you're afraid of making Santa fucking alien.
Are you doing Santy? Are you doing Santa but sexy or not? And also, the Odyssey is also about the group, not
it's
just.
Goddamn 2021 by the time that this game comes out. Are you kidding me? We know how to make sexy fat people. It's not like a mystery. Santa Claus can be Santa Claus shaped and still be incredibly hot.
I want to clarify. I have no issue with depicting sexy fat people. That doesn't bother me. What I'm saying is, do you want to depict Santa, who is a Christmas icon, who is not sexual most of the time, being sexual? I care not for how he looks and how a person looks dictating if it's sexy or not. I'm saying, do you want to make Santa doing scandalous things? That's what I'm getting at.
Of course I want to make Santa Claus doing scandalous things.
All right, he goes to a planet and like.
Oh, wait. Scandalous things.
I fucking hate you so much. But yeah, no, I feel you. I'm okay. I think that's awesome, and I think that is positive game making. It's just I'm trying to I just wanted to discern.
You were afraid of making horny Santa Claus. I get you. You didn't want to show Santa's bag. I get it. I'm sorry, Santa's sack.
I mean, if Fate Go could do it, we could do it too. So whatever. Santa's a character in Fate Go, isn't it? Or is it just that everybody dresses
Santa
up like
is an energy that characters commonly dress up as.
Oh, okay. So that's why. Oh, so that explains Saber Santa. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, isn't there like also Saber Alter Santa, who's like fucking
adorable?
It's
Saber Alter that was Santa Claus first, and then it was Joan of Arc, but evil, but small, but Santa. And then there was, of course, Quetzalcoatl, the god, as Santa. And then there was Florence Nightingale, the nurse in war, but Santa.
We get it. Lots of anime girls as Santa.
There's been a lot of Santas.
Okay. So we need to talk about boss fights, and like I guess we could talk about some of the planets and like how they differ.
Let's talk about some boss fights, and I think that's going to help us categorize how the planets differ, because all the planets are just like our universe, just like they've got people there now. And again, it's going to be mostly this. It's going to be mostly the exact same really boring walk around, fix your car gameplay loop until like the big boss set pieces. I'm imagining we're going to be taking a lot of inspiration from a Kojima game, where like for like 90% of the game, it's like, oh my god, my brakes and my oil is leaking again, and I guess I have to figure that shit out. And then like you're going to get to a boss fight and you're going to be like, yeah, Santa Claus just picked up a car and threw it. He's blocking like 3 meteors with his with a cool sword. And then he used his cool magic bag and threw one of the meteors into the magic bag. I wonder what he's gonna do with that. And then he like runs up and bum rushes the like boss, and then he opens the end of the bag, and the meteor shoots out of the bag like a tiny cannon, kind of like the move that the villager has in Smash Brothers. And he just kapla blasts the big bad boss.
Let me ask you a little bit of a question.
Yeah.
How? Because I'm trying to think of like Santa. Because I'm trying to think of who Santa is, and if we're making a Santa that's like goes to planet Scantalus and is like, I'm gonna get jiggy.
No, he got jiggy one time. He's multidimensional.
I thought you were getting. I thought you were bringing up the planet Scantalus of getting jiggy, not with an entire planet, but like with a lot of people. What I'm saying is, this sounds like a Santa that is not our traditional holly jolly pure Santa. What I'm thinking is, what if he's an egotistical asshole? Like, Christmas was so good and he made it such a big thing on Earth that went to his big old head. And now each planet that he is visiting along his way back to Earth are themed after other holidays. So I'm talking Easter, talking Hanukkah, talking what are some other holidays that I'm blanking on?
Are you implying that every planet has like a patron holiday and he's going to go in and one world just absolutely attack the Christmas bunny?
The Christmas bunny? You mean the Easter bunny?
Easter bunny. Sorry,
yeah, that's it. He's like that's what he has to do. He has to prove himself. He's like he approaches the Easter bunny and he's like, the Easter bunny's, you must prove yourself to me. And then they get into just a big fight, and that's Santa has to prove his worth to allow passage to the next planet.
Yeah. All right, sure. Why not? Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything there. I don't.
There's not, but we'll certainly make something there. I've already called up Kojima. He's gonna write the game for us.
All right. All right.
You want to find a boss fight for us?
I do have one boss fight that I think is very funny. So Santa arrives on a planet that's very weird and desolate. He noticed there's no people there, but he just hears groaning in the far distance of like, it sounds like 1,000 people groaning. And when he approaches it, this triggers a boss fight that is revealed. This comes to us from Gazer. It's every Hallmark movie man in one horrible amalgam. So they're all wearing green Christmas sweaters. It's just like, you remember the end of Inside, where it was just that blob of people?
Yes.
It's that, but they're all like wearing green sweaters. They're all saying like happy holidays. And it's just all like those cheesy, dumb lines from Hallmark movies. So it's just like a cacophony of sound, and you're fighting this weird blob monster thing as one of the battles. And I think that would be fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's Christmas spirity.
Well, what I love about this is this would be like something near the end of Santa's journey, and I think that Santa's incredible power in this fight would be Santa Claus breaking free each one of those poor trapped individuals and helping them be one person again, just prying the nasty slime ball apart and creating individuality for each of these people. And of course, this would be done by giving each person there one gift. Mm-hmm. He would come up to the giant ball and he'd be like, "Oh my God." And then he would open up his list and he's like, "Don't you worry. Jeremy, Samantha, Susan, Sally, Zach, Devin." And he would see like every person in that giant ball pit is a human. And he'd be like, "I've got a gift for each one of you." And the boss fight would kind of end up being like a bunch of little tiny micro deliveries as he broke free each person from the blob.
That's right. I honestly, I don't know why I was thinking. I remember the original submission was to deliver. I was in like, this is a battle manga mode now. This is like a battle. This is a battle series.
Many of the boss fights will feel like battle. I'm imagining this game to feel like 90% of it, most of the gameplay loop is going to be like delivery quest, car maintenance, driving around planets, giving people things. Very, very boring. Lots of audio files, whatever. And then the boss fights will all feel like Asura's Wrath or like Metal Gear Rising. Like absolutely buck wild boss fights.
Fuck yeah. That's rad. All
so
right,
one of those boss fights would include this submission from Zendrika. She suggested Slutty Grinch. Now you and I were trying to think about who would be the Cersei to our Odysseus.
Are you saying Slutty Grinch is waiting on Earth for their loving Santa to return? Is that what you're implying?
I thought Cersei was the lady on the island that Odysseus stayed with briefly to grant safe passage, that he kind of cheated on his wife with.
Yeah, he does a very bad thing.
So I'm saying that that's our Grinch. I'm saying that our Grinch is on one of the planets, not Earth, waiting for Santa, and Santa shows up, and Slutty Grinch is like, "Hey, Santa,
You know what's so funny?
I've been waiting to get jiggy."
You know what's so funny? I'm remembering the fucking Grinch movie with Jim Carrey, and there is that scene where he's just wearing a lace outfit, and I'm picturing it's that cut out, like that Grinch from that scene with a lace gown, just seducing Santa Claus.
And you know what? This opens up a great thing to us,
this
because
is
if we're
not-
getting
this shouldn't
Kojima
be
involved,
made. I fucking
if
hate
we're
this.
getting Kojima involved, and we're going to get that Grinch as our Grinch, so of course Jim Carrey will be reprising his role as Grinch. We need to go ahead and decide what Hollywood superstar is going to be our Santa Claus.
Mads Mikkelsen, because Kojima fucking has just loves that man to no end.
I was gonna suggest Jonah Hill, but Mads Mikkelsen isn't a bad call either.
Mads Mikkelsen would be great because he's just a jacked dude. He just looks intimidating, and that would just be very fun.
I don't want our Santa Claus to be intimidating. I want him to just look like a guy.
I don't think Jonah Hill is like maybe a good cast then. Let me think. I don't know on any other. What's a good dude? It's Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is Santa Claus.
Seth Rogen? Could we do Seth Rogen?
Is he? I don't know. Is he problematic? I feel like
Probably.
Yeah, I feel like of all people, he might be. I don't know.
I don't want Keanu Reeves because I don't want Slim Santa.
I mean, he can put on some weight. Like, we can figure it out, man. He's fine.
All right. Keanu Reeves sounds like such an easy cast, though.
I mean, but he's such a wonderful dude. Like, think of it this way: when the Game Awards happen and this wins Best Seasonal Game, he's gonna come out in his Santa outfit and he's gonna point at everybody and he says, "You're all wonderful," and he's gonna have his Santa bag and he's gonna go throw copies of the game at people as little gifts. AJ, this is the best fucking marketing thing, and I'm shocked that you're not with me on this.
Could we do Gabriel Iglesias, the comedy funny haha man?
I mean, you could, yes, sure. You could probably work. I'm trying to think of other dudes, and I'm absolutely blanking right now.
I'm trying to think of holiday people that are just like dudes, you know? Like just like normal dude-looking dudes.
Normal ass people.
Yeah. Ain't got a lot of those in
about,
Hollywood, huh?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll leave it to the casting director. We'll worry about it.
Okay, we'll leave it to the casting director.
Yeah, you're right. You're very right. There's not a lot of just regular ass people in Hollywood. You're very much right.
Who plays Ned in the Spider-Man movies? I guess him. Could we make him Santa?
God, you know who would be really good actually, just because he would be sassy and funny? Bruce Campbell, the guy who played Ash from Evil Dead. This is my boomstick. That guy.
Bruce Campbell, Santa Claus. Okay. I could get into that.
And he has a candy cane shotgun, and he just raises it up.
What if we went with, hold on, hear me out. What if we went with like a younger, cooler, more young and fresh Santa Claus, and we grabbed that guy that used to play as Gibby from iCarly?
Oh, fuck. He would be awesome. Yeah. I am remembering. Noah Monk.
Noah Monk is Santa Claus. Here we go. Noah Monk, Santa Claus. Jim Carrey, the Grinch. Bruce Campbell, Krampus.
Holy fuck, he's buff as shit. Oh my god.
Is he buff now too?
He's buff, dude.
Can we please get a chubby guy in Hollywood that isn't Seth Rogen? Blake, I think that's a game.
That is a game. Are you ready for patch notes?
I'm hella ready for patch notes. Let's go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Patch Notes. Again, one last service boost near the end of the show. We are going to be doing that contest for our Patreon supporters on January 2nd.
If you're down, check it out. We're going to have a link in the comments below, or you can go to our Twitter, or you can just go to Patreon and type in Spiritual Successor Podcast.
We'll put up a little bit more details about the rules on our Patreon page, not gated or anything, so anybody can see that post. And you can get a little bit better grasp of what's going on, and if you'd be interested in joining us for that. As always, Our intro and outro music is Cheap Shop by Anna Monoguchi, an excellent song from an excellent band for an excellent game. I've been your host, AJ Hart.
And I have been your other host, Blake Rea.
This has been Spiritual Successor, and these are cool games
that should not be made. Happy Honda Days, everybody!
Happy Honda Days, everybody!